What up, Seeking Knowledge family? This is your girl, Lady Pharaoh, and I am the host of this amazing podcast tonight. But I do have my co-host, my one and only, my hubby. Say what up.
What's up, y'all? You know who it is, Pharaoh33. How y'all doing, man? What's popping?
Right? Let's get it on. All right. On this season 23, episode 26, y'all know we like thinking of acronyms, right? So today's title is F.E.A.R. Forget everything and rebuild. Once again, that's F.E.A.R. Forget everything and rebuild. You know, like our number one thing that holds us back in life is fear. And a lot of times you got to forget a lot of things that you've been through, pretty much almost everything, and rebuild your mindset, rebuild your circumstances, rebuild your relationships. You know, sometimes we got to start over. Sometimes we have to forget everything and rebuild, because a lot of times we run in circles. We chase our tails. We play the blame game. We play the victim game. And you're not a victor. You're not a victim in your circumstances. You are victorious. So I forgot everything. I forgot where I used to live. I forgot, what I'm saying, who I used to date, who I used to hang out with, the habits I used to do. I forgot all of those things. And once I changed my mindset and I was ready to rebuild, I knocked fear out. I started punching it like a punching bag, just boom, 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 and knock it down those walls, knock it down those barriers. And fear is a number one thing that's holding you back. So anything you want to say?
Yes, that was a good intro, by the way.
Thank you.
But the title of this is F.E.A.R. Forgetting Everything and Rebuild. Like, a lot of y'all go through so much in life, like whether it's you got evicted out your apartment, or foreclosure on your home, or you just lost a job, or you got put out the shelter. But think about it. Forget everything you're going through, forget everything you're going to go through, and rebuild. Like, you got to start over. Sometimes the best thing to do is forget what you went through and start over. Like, I know for me, I didn't went through so much in life, like when it comes to like dealing with people, relationships, and marriage that didn't go nowhere, like jobs that I didn't stay at, people I hung around. I just say, you know what, forget the job, forget the people. I'm going to forget it and rebuild. Everything I went through, like, I had to forget about it and rebuild. That's why a lot of y'all are not in the position y'all are in to become financially successful, or just become successful, because you study holding on to what if, or study holding on to the past things you did. It's not the past anymore. Forget the past and rebuild. Forget everything you went through in the past and rebuild. Like, if it didn't work out with that person, forget it. If that job didn't come through, or the job you had, you got fired, forget it. Forget everything you are going through at the current moment. Forget everything you went through in the past and rebuild. That's the only way you're going to better yourself, if you forget everything and rebuild. Like, sometimes in life, you got to let so much stuff go just to rebuild. Whether you got to forget what your family did to you. You got to forget what your coworker did to you. You got to forget what your ex did to you. You got to forget what your kids did to you. You just got to forget what people do to you. Forget everything and rebuild. Start over. Like my wife said, you got to start over in your mind first. Once you starting over in your mind first, you forget everything you went through in life. You got to forget it in your mind first. Once you forget about it in your mind, you put it on the back burner. Nope, you get rid of it. Forget about it. Throw it away and rebuild. Like, you can come out on top, man. Don't let what you went through in the past stop you from having a bright future. And I used to think like that. Like, everything I went through in the past, like, at times, don't get me wrong, I don't forget about it. I don't forget about what people do to me in the present moment. But guess what? I gotta forget about it so I can rebuild a better future for me, my wife, and my children. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, you know that old saying. What's that old saying, babe? For Give,
I forgive you, but I don't forget.
forget.
Yeah.
Nah, let that go. That's old. Throw it out the window. Crumble it up. Throw it out. Because unless you forget it and you move on, you'll never move on. And the only way you'll be able to move on is if you forget it. And it's so sad that people still hold on to stuff. They still hold on to anger. They still hold on to fear. They still hold on to things that hold them back. You know, you can't grab a new rope if you still hold on to the old one. Let it go. Let it go. It's not tug of war. Let's just stop trying to sweat it out by playing tug of war with your mind and your goals and yourself and your accomplishments and your everything that you got going on. You're playing tug of war with it because you're so afraid. You got that fear of letting go. You got that fear of forgetting and rebuilding. You're like, you're so afraid of uncomfortable. You know, you want to be comfortable. You want it the same old. It's like 2025. A lot of people say, "I'm gonna have a new year. This my year. This my year to shine. I'm about to, I'm about to eat healthy. I'm about to eat right. I'm about to this, that, and the other." And it's like you won't have a new year if you're still doing the same thing that you was doing last year.
Oh, you touched on that because I was sure for to go to your health, but before I just think about the things you put in your body, need to forget about. The title of this is Fear. Forget everything and rebuild. A lot of y'all need to forget that weed, forget the drinking, forget the X pills, forget the partying, the drugs, forget everything and rebuild. You need to rebuild your brain cells. You need to just rebuild your life, cause that's some of y'all problems. We're not trying to throw shots because we've been there, but we forgot about all that drinking and smoking and partying like a rock star. Y'all need to forget that and rebuild. Man, get away from it. If you're around people who constantly want to do that, who don't have no future, who not trying to be successful for their kids, forget everything and rebuild. Sometimes the best thing you can do to get away from them smoking and drinking is you gotta start over. You gotta remove yourself from the equation, remove yourself from the situation, and rebuild somewhere else. Because if you keep hanging around the same people who are on a hamster wheel, who are not going on in life, how can you rebuild? How can you forget everything and rebuild? Some of y'all need to forget where y'all came from. Because a lot of y'all, and it's the truth, and thank you, ancestor. A lot of y'all are in a new state, but y'all still thinking about y'all hometown or where y'all at. I miss my mama, I miss my dad, I miss my homeboy. I want to know what they doing. Forget everything and rebuild. If a lot of y'all got opportunity, or a lot of y'all made it out where y'all from, rebuild, man. Start over. Ain't nothing like it starting over. And I can just say, I'm from Brooklyn, Illinois, East St. Louis, Illinois, and I forgot everything that I did there. I forgot all that. Everything that I did there, I forgot about it. And I moved on so I can rebuild. I went from Illinois to, I don't know, I stayed in Alabama, Mississippi, ended up in Killeen, Texas, Kansas City, in Arizona, ended up in Killeen, Texas. Now I'm up in San Antonio, Texas. I had to forget everything that I went through in the past from the homeless, and I had to rebuild. Now, I know it's my time. I know it's my time because everything I went through, I forgot about it. I forgot about everything I went through, but at the same time, I don't mind sharing what I went through because my story is for somebody else's glory. My stories help somebody else overcome, but I forgot everything I went through, and I had to rebuild so I can be the best me for my wife. Matter of fact, I can be the best me for me first, then my wife, then my kids, then the people that I connect with, whether it's on the OWL app or it's just me being out and enjoying a good energy. But I forget everything I went through in the past, and I'm rebuilding. I'm building that legacy for my kids. I'm building that business for me and my wife can leave these 9 to 5. I'm building a bright ass future for my kids and my kids to come. Future, legacy. But I'm forgetting everything that I went through in the past.
It's also like a Band-Aid, babe. You know, your past is like a wound. And if you keep snatching that Band-Aid off, it'll never heal.
Check the episode out, by the way, Band-Aid.
Yeah, Band-Aid. Hey. But yeah, fear is definitely it holds you back, man. It holds you back. But for our acronym today, like we said, forget everything and rebuild. It's a must. Like my husband just shared, where he from. I'm actually from Chicago, Illinois. And like he said, we live in San Antonio, Texas. I came from California. So I was born in Chicago. We moved to South Carolina when I was like 6 or 7. From South Carolina, we moved to Cali. When I turned 18, I got the hell up out of California. I came to Texas. And I've been here ever since. And just to rebuild. And recently, I've been rebuilding my mindset before me and my husband met. I've been on my spiritual journey. I've been rebuilding me, not just for me, but for my husband that I met and my children to come. I cannot be successful. I cannot have the best mindset and still doing and hanging out with the people that I used to. And for some reason, everybody's just start falling off at the right time, right place, right situations. And it broke my heart, losing friendships and stuff. You don't know why until you realize like your peace is more important, until you go on your spiritual journey. You go on, meditation journey. You go into yoga. You go into working out, reading books, doing all this stuff that you very passionate about, and go on for walks, doing things, taking long baths, doing things that you traveling, that you know that you need to heal that brokenness inside of you. Forgetting everything that I went through. I went through foster care. I've been through my parents on drugs, selling drugs, being on the street, toxic relationships, things like that. I had to forget all of that stuff so I could rebuild Erica, so I could rebuild me, that peace. Stop drinking and smoking. I stopped eating meat. I started on a plant-based diet, vegetarian diet, things of that nature. I never really drank soda in my past. Never really ate ground beef, but I did eat chicken and fish. But I cut those things out. I cut out those bad habits, and I forgot everything, and I rebuilt it, my mindset, so I can be right. And the universe and God sent me my husband. And let me tell you, without him, like, I feel like I've known him my whole life. And it's like a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm be single forever. I'm be single. You might be single forever if you're still doing the same thing. Like, you gotta change. There's gotta be some type of change.
And we're gonna end it with that. Like, and I know a lot of y'all can relate to this. A lot of y'all need to forget what you're going through. Forget the people that did you wrong. Forget the mistakes you made in the past, which is not mistakes, they just lessons. Forget all that. Everything you went through, forget about it. And keep pushing, keep grinding, keep shining, and rebuild. Look, y'all, we thank y'all for tuning into this. Peace and blessings, y'all. But before we get up out of here, we are entrepreneurs over here. Like, that fit book is about to get published, man. Shout out to Loyalty, man, for helping us publish this fit book, From the Hood to the Church, Part 2, Why I Chose Spirituality Over Religions. Like, really had to just do some thinking and get rid of some people, and like, you know what, it's time to get this book published. So that book will be published this year, but the first book can be found on Amazon. It's titled From the Hood to the Church. I'm tripping, y'all. It's been a long day, but the first book is titled From the Hood to the Church. That book can be found on Amazon. Then we got the ebook titled From the Hood to the Church Annotated. Then we got a children's book on Barnes & Noble titled Dad, Where's My Fish? Then we have another children's book titled Diamond and the Baby Husky. Now that book is not on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any other platform. It's on System.io, and I can send you that link to order that book, that ebook, if you send me an email at seekingknowledgepodcast33@gmail.com. And I can send you that book. But like I mentioned earlier before I got the name in the book, that fifth book will be published, and it's titled From the Hood to the Church Part 2, Why I Chose Spirituality Over Religion. That book will be available on Amazon sometime this year. Hopefully it might be this month or next month, who knows, but that book is coming. Also, a lot of y'all need to forget everything and rebuild when it comes to your eating. Like, we was taught growing up that we need meat, that we need to eat pork, or we need to eat beef or swine, or we need this, or we need that just to get the proteins, or just because it's good for us. But you look at our teeth are flat. We're meant to eat plants and fruits. We're not dinosaurs. I love saying it. We're not carnivores, we're herbivores by nature. So forget everything we was taught when it comes to eating, and rebuild your inside, rebuild your immune system. Just rebuild rebuild yourself, and
rebuild your cellulite, rebuild your cells. That comes with your eating and drinking.
But yeah, y'all, look, we know y'all cannot do it on y'all own, but it's cool though. I couldn't do it on my own, but now
if you can't do it on your own, my husband is a part of the Herbalife crew. You can get Herbalife products through him. You can email him at demarcusbrewster@yahoo.com. Seeking Knowledge podcast@gmail.com. Like I said, you can email my husband at seekingknowledgepodcast33@gmail.com. And before we get up out of here, y'all, download that OWL app, OWWLL, and don't forget the referral code Brewster, BREWSTER. If you want to network, if you want to get your name out there, if you want to talk to people and get paid for it, once again, download that OWL app. All right, peace and blessings, y'all.